multi-airdrop opportunities, time-sensitive updates, and some portfolio airdrop opportunities. Let's get started. Starting with Jupiter, we have another vote ending on May 22nd, and in 2024 the APY for this was collectively around 80%, so make sure to use this and qualify for future Jupiter airdrops if you're staking. And then from Relay, as expected, it is actually Discord that went live a couple days ago, so make sure to join if you're planning to get maybe Relay airdrop in the future. It is definitely a good idea to potentially get some OG roles in their Discord. And finally, from Eclipse, we also have a new AI agent that is currently just in development phase. You can actually just interact with it on the platform. So essentially, it's probably not going to do much in terms of actual airdrop, but could be some multipliers. And all of these LLMs need a lot of user input to... Oh my God, why does she have a French accent? Anyway, all these LLMs actually need user interaction and data to grow. So maybe in the future, it's going to mean something. Now we have some very interesting metrics from Kaito. There's pre-TG projects that have raised a significant amount of money. And as you can see, most of these like OG Labs, Somnia, Monad, Sophon, Infinex, Eclipse, and many others we've been covering over the last couple of months. So if you ever need some more clarity on what airdrop targets you should potentially focus on, always look for the biggest funding possible and ideally lowest amount of users. All right, let's take a look at some Optimism Superstacks updates. We're approaching the last 10 days of the campaign, and they are really ramping things up with the experience. Basically, they've made it so that those pools that are generating the biggest yield, organic yield for users, they're going to have the highest multipliers. So this is actually the first time in forever that I've seen that the project is actually trying to incentivize both airdrop hunters and yield farmers at the same time, and it is a very, very welcome change. So in this case, you can see that some lesser known projects such as Sake on Sonium, or for example on Optimism mainnet Moonwell, which is not a very unknown project, but for some reason is giving amazing returns in its respective category of stablecoins. Therefore, it has the highest multiplier, and these pools as well. Now, there's some negative multipliers as well here, but that doesn't matter. You will want to focus on the highest returning ones from the multiplier perspective. And you can see that the amount of participants and total value locked has almost doubled since the last time we covered this. So if you want to get in on this, make sure to do so in the next 10 days. And if you're looking to get your assets into Optimism or any of the superchain chains, such as Optimism Base, Incon Chain, Unit Chain, or others, then you can also utilize the Arbitrum bridge, which have secured 10,000 in Arbitrum tokens for this particular part of the airdrop. Another option is also to bridge into Sui, because finally they caught on that Sui is the place to be, and they've secured another 24,000 in prizes for bridging into Sui. And last bridge and superchain update comes from the Retro Bridge. They have a Galaxy campaign where you simply follow, retweet a tweet, and use Retro Bridge to bridge into any of the superchain chains.
Hey guys, we partner with What Exchange, one of the greatest decentralized exchange right now in the market. I love that you can see everything on your screen at once. You can connect to What Exchange from different mainnets, and you can see here the list of hundreds of tokens. They are continuously adding more tokens each week. And What Exchange has an active airdrop. They are going to distribute 30% of the total supply, guys, into this airdrop. So that is why I am super bullish trading here too. You can see here the point section that they added recently, so you can check everything about your progress on this airdrop. And in trading, you can see how many order tokens you earn, because they have this payback system from the fees that you pay. Part of that goes back to you on order tokens. So check the link on the description to join to What Exchange, trade on the platform, participate on the airdrop of the 30% of the supply, and also get some order tokens back. All the links are in the description.
And if you want to keep it simple, the easiest thing you can do to get some exposure to ecosystem is to buy some launch coin. Now keep in mind it's already got 216 million in market cap, but if they are really going to be the next virtuals like some people say, then there is a chance that we're at this stage where it was just ramping up for another 10x. But again, this is mostly hopium because the market is doing really well, and in the last couple of days it's actually underperforming, so you need to take this with a huge grain of salt. Now, mindshare. Everyone keeps mentioning this word, so what is it? Kaito was the first platform to successfully quantify mindshare and actually find applicable usage for it for all protocols out there. So how it works is basically they find these social metrics that are very, very important for projects to track, and it has been proven time and time again to be a much better way to identify which project is doing well other than just TVL. TVL is very stagnant and it can be easily manipulated by whales. Mindshare is actual people discussing a project, and it can really signal a project's popularity and future perspective so much better. So Kaito has partnered up with Infinex, or other way around, and they actually had a stealth launch of Season 0 for everyone who has participated in the, of course, Infinex activities like Bullrun and switching and everything, but also mentioning it through Kaito in their posts. So if you've been getting the yaps mentioning Infinex, you're already maybe on the leaderboard. However, there will be many seasons, actually 3, and there's also some rewards for Kaito ecosystem holders like NFT and others. The founder of Infinex, Karen, goes into much more detail on the importance of mindshare in this blog post, but in short, they've allocated 6 million for these seasons, and you can check your Season 0 leaderboard if you've qualified on their website, and you can track your current progress through yaps on Season 1, also on the leaderboard. Now, another competitor to this mindshare game is also GiveRep. We've covered this in the past. It's basically a Kaito competitor that you can also use the same mindshare metrics. You simply go on the platform, vote for the projects, tweet on X, mention the project, and if your tweets and of your posts get interaction and actual traction, then you're going to be climbing the leaderboards and potentially qualifying for a very, very good airdrop as well. Now, this next part is mostly for project founders and developers. If you're looking for blockchains to maybe build and scale on, Sonic could be a very good option, because we've seen in the last conference that they actually have a huge amount of money reserved for future rounds, so keep that in mind. And another one that you can also consider is Stellar. This one is mostly for stablecoin payments, but they also have a sizable development grant. So if you're looking to maybe build something, these two blockchains could be one of the best targets. Of course, private communities are the best places to find alpha like this in real time, because it's not just opportunities like this bluefin you had to jump on immediately, which was giving you insane stablecoin returns. It was 8K in the first couple of minutes, and then in the first couple of hours, it dropped down to like 400, 500% APR. So if you had stablecoins on SUI or any liquidity on SUI, or even anywhere you simply bridge over, you could capitalize on this. But again, you have to move really quickly and act fast. And it's not just for those strategies, but also networking part. This is where the money is most of the time. If this is something you want to do, then join our subscriptions page on the website. All the links for everything we talk about are in the official link for everything in the first link, the description of every video. And finally, the NFT collection is also doing really well, at least now that market is back up. And we're trying to build treasury to make sure that the future bear markets are going to be sustainable. And let's wrap up with some lesser known airdrop targets on Bitcoin. This is specifically for Bitcoin and Stacks, Bitcoin Layer 2. So we've covered Stacking DAO many times in the past. It is a liquid staking protocol for your STX tokens, and it's as straightforward as it gets. You get stacks, you have it on Binance or many other places, and simply deposit, hope for the best with a point system. All of these have points, of course. Only the last bonus one won't have points. The other one is Zest Protocol. This one is also built on stacks, backed by Binance, and at the moment they are very close to the deposit cap. However, they have a points program. You can loop a little bit safely, so make sure to use correlated assets if you're going to be using any looping strategies, as always. But it is also an option, never for the APRs. So guys, you won't be getting crazy APRs here unless it's some really, really low TVL amount for a token, but it is always speculative more from the points perspective. And the third one is Bitflow. It is your one-stop shop for almost all liquidity and swapping needs on Bitcoin Layer 2 stacks. Basically, they have a points program, already an announced token, so maybe this one is going to be the first to drop. And the last bonus, probably just an honorable mention, is the Yield Optimizer protocol. They've bought a Twitter handle from 2007, bit of a red flag, but they have some okay yields on base and not a single mention of a token or airdrop in their documentation. So yeah, this is really for the super speculators, but it is supposed to be some novel technology regarding the best routes that your yield is being generated. So maybe something to keep an eye out if it's going to be flying under the radar. That's a wrap for all the topics for today. If you like the content, make sure to like and subscribe with bell notifications on. Any questions, comments, I'm waiting for you in the comment section below. And if you understand the value of your time, we will not give a second thought to joining a private community. It doesn't have to be ours, but historically, it has proven quite worthwhile. Thanks for watching, and until next time, have an amazing day.